Good morning, everybody. I am Professor Mukesh Bhatt, speaking on behalf of Gujarat Science City, Ahmedabad. Today is a Hiroshima Day, that is non-proliferation of nuclear weapons day. And in that, we have organized on behalf of a Science City a lecture on Hiroshima Day. First of all, I thanks Science City staff, Science City for giving me an opportunity to deliver this lecture or PPT against all of you. First of all, friends, we know that in 1945, 6th August, a bomb was dropped by American Army on a Hiroshima, whose population was around 3,50,000. And in early morning at 8:15 a.m., bomb was dropped, and in that dropping of bomb, around 50,000 soldiers were died. This is the only the casualty of soldiers. Around 80,000 civilians were died. So think 50,000 soldiers, 80,000 casualties. So more than 1 lakh 30,000 people were died in a Hiroshima bomb dropped case. So people realize initially that this one is the mass destruction occurs with a simple bomb, and the whole world comes into threat by dropping of this bomb. So this day we celebrate as a anti-nuclear day, anti-nuclear weapon day. And in that remembrance, we are delivering this lecture as a Hiroshima Day from Science City. I am Professor Mukesh Bhatt from Parekh Brothers Science College, Kapavanj. You see this first picture. This one is the only building, medical college building survived when bomb was detonated in Hiroshima. So this one I have kept as a symbol how all this happened. One cannot forget the legend Albert Einstein, who theoretically invented E is equal to mc square on the basis of special theory of relativity. He gave this equation E is equal to mc square, means mass can be converted to energy. But Einstein was a theoretician. He was not able to convert that mass into an energy. So this equation was given by the Albert Einstein, but he was not able to convert that into an energy. So who converted this mass into an energy? That legend person named Enrico Fermi. You can see over here the photograph of Fermi, Enrico Fermi, basically Italian, and he made a nuclear reactor, world's first nuclear reactor, named Chicago Pile 1. So he is the main person, pioneer, one can say architect of nuclear age. Born on 29th September 1901 in Rome in Italy, and died in Chicago, United States, Nobel Prize physicist, and so many things you can see on the screen. So this Enrico Fermi first made nuclear reactor. and he converted this mass into energy. So as a result of burning of mass, large amount of energy is released, and we can calculate it from E is equal to mc square. So that material which was used as a fundamental material for burning mass is uranium 235. Uranium that we extract from mineral, we call it as pitch blende. See, this one is the rope of pitch blende. This one is the pitch blende mineral for uranium. See, pitch blende, also known by the name uranite. We call it as uranite or a pitch blende, one or the same. This one is the mineral, and this mineral contains oxides of uranium. See, UO2 and UO3. This is the primary ore of the uranium. Generally, this uranium is black in color, like a pitch, and we can see this uranium 235. This one is uranium extracted from the pitch blende or uranium. So this one is the uranium 235 that is extracted from the pitch blende or uranium. This material is basically used in a bomb. We call it as a little boy or a fat man. This uranium 235 is an isotope in uranium, and you can see that in a uranium 0.72 percentage natural uranium is available. From pitch blende, we can say roughly 0.70 percentage, means very less, and whose predominant isotope, that is uranium 238, that is also a fissile which can sustain a fission chain reaction. Chain reaction that I shall explain you a little bit later on, but this one is the fissile isotopes of uranium, uranium 238, that starts fission chain reaction, and both are available in uranium 235 or pitch blende, by which this was possible. You can see uranium 235 are having half-life 203.8 million years, and it was discovered in 1935 by Arthur Jeffrey Dempster. Having slow thermal neutrons about 584.3 bonds, and fast neutrons are almost order of 1. See, fast neutrons are very very less, and slow thermal neutrons are larger, 584 in the comparison of 1. So whenever we bombard this neutron to uranium 235, neutron is captured by the uranium 235 and it makes uranium 236. So you can see over here, this is the reaction. See, this one is the neutron bombarded to a uranium 9235. See, this becomes unstable, just like the liquid drop, and thereafter it divided into two fragments by emitting on or average 3 neutrons, and two fragments are krypton and barium, 36 krypton 92 and 56 barium 141. So why this happens? Because whenever any nucleus becomes unstable, then it's divided into two fragments, but binding energy per nucleon that always increases. See over here in this graph, these are the mass number of uranium. This one is the binding energy per nucleon. Nucleon means a particle which resides inside the nucleus. We call it as neutron or proton. This one is the binding energy per nucleon in million electron volt. So always any atom that always tries to increase its binding energy per nucleon more and more. That is the natural tendency of an atom, any atom. So whenever we bombard neutron to uranium 235, and when it is captured by the uranium, and uranium becomes unstable, and see, this one is the fission. Fission occurs in such a way that its binding energy per nucleon increases. So if we go in this graph from right to left, we see the binding energy increases. It means that as binding energy per nucleon is less, nucleus is more less stable. So as binding energy per nucleon decreases, it is less stable. If it increases, it becomes more stable. So by dividing this uranium 235 into two fragments, new fragments, krypton and barium, they are around 56 and 92. So over here somewhere in these two area, in this area. So it means that binding energy per nucleon that is increased. That is the natural phenomena. So binding energy per nucleon increases. By bombarding, it is divided into fractions. So that we call it as nuclear fission. So you can see this nuclear fission, and as a result these two fragments are having binding energy per nucleon large than this 92 uranium 235. So this one is unstable and this one are more stable than uranium 235. So that's why this process occurs. And as a result, we have three neutrons, and these neutrons, some of are fast, some of are slow. This one is the reaction. You see over here, is bombarded, converted to 92, uranium to 36, and barium and protons are occurred. So this one is the natural process. So whenever this is more or less divided into two fragments, we have large amount of energy that is released. See over here. So large amount of energy is released, around 200 million electron volt. This much amount of energy is released, and that we are getting as a result of mass defect. If we calculate total mass of 92 uranium 235 and total mass of this, then naturally total mass of these two that will be less. That will be less than uranium 92. So as a result, mass defect is converted to energy, and we are getting large amount of energy by equation E is equal to mc square. As we know, just we have initiated the reaction. These three thermal neutrons are further, right, bombarded, right, or impinges inside other three uranium atoms, and they are captured by these other three atoms of a slug or a material, and again chain reaction starts, and see we are getting so many fragments of krypton and barium, and neutrons are generated. So in this way, this process continuously goes on increasing, and as a result, more and more energy is released, and as a result, we get a blast and tremendous amount of energy is released. So this one is the basic reaction mechanism from a material, we call it as uranium. So you know, this uranium is converted to an energy equal to mass defect. So this one is the chain reaction or nuclear fission reaction which was used in the little boy, we call, and bomb was detonated on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So this one is the reaction mechanism. So the, if you know, over here we have subdivided uranium into two fragments, barium and krypton. So this reaction is known as a nuclear fission reaction. Means larger atom is divided into two smaller atoms of larger binding energy per nucleon. Per nucleon. But you can see from this graph of binding energy per nucleon that over here we have binding energy per nucleon for Fe, that is maximum, and over here you see the lighter nucleons, lighter atoms, helium, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So all these are over here nitrogens. So these are the lighter nuclei, lighter atoms. So lighter nucleus are having even binding energy per nucleon is less. So if they combine together and increases its mass number and is converted to another heavier atom, again binding energy per nucleon increases. So if lighter nucleus or lighter atoms combine together and makes heavier atom, at that time also binding energy per nucleon increases, and as a result large amount of energy is released, and that is the principle of nuclear fusion. So if we go in this graph from left to right, you can see again binding energy per nucleon increases. So on this principle nuclear fusion reaction takes place, and that is the principle of another emergence of large amount of energy. And over here also we have a mass defect, and we get a large amount of energy by fusion reaction, not fission reaction, and that is the principle of hydrogen bomb. So that is the another principle, right? Not fission but fusion. So fusion reaction, from that we can make another bomb, that we call it as hydrogen bomb, and that is the principle, right, that works on the principle of nuclear fusion. So nuclear fusion occurs in the presence of large temperature. So large temperature is required first. So in the presence of large temperature, these light nuclei, right, fuse together, and we have heavier atoms, right? So we get from hydrogen, deuterium and tritium, and we have a large amount of energy released, and on that base hydrogen bomb works. So these are the two types of the bombs. One is the fusion bomb, that was used in Little Boy, and this one is the hydrogen bomb. So this is another kind of the bomb, and that was used by the America. This one, sorry, this one is used by the Russia. So Russian invented this nuclear fusion. Sorry, pardon. See, this one is the symbolically I have shown to you that deuterium and tritium they are fused together, and we have a heavier atom, a helium, and again a neutron is ejected, and we have a large amount of energy. So this one is the fusion reaction. Lighter nuclei fuse together and make heavier, right, atom, and energy is released. So this one is the fusion reaction I have shown to you. So these are the two bombs. First is the fission bomb, another is a fusion bomb. But we know that in this either a reaction is fusion or a fission, neutrons are ejected. So large number of neutrons are ejected during this process. And scientists invented a third bomb nowadays, and that we call it as neutron bomb. So this one is the simple schematic diagram of the neutron bomb. Who found out? Sam Cohen. Sam Cohen invented the neutron bomb, and that is again a strong weapon, and that is used in the battles in a mass destruction process. See over here, this one is the neutron bomb, and again it is a thermonuclear weapon in which during that large number of neutrons are released. In this detonation of neutron bomb, living organisms means mans, animals, flora, fauna, that kills. Animals are killed, organisms are killed, but physical structures that survives. That is the advantage of neutron bomb. It kills only living organisms. It, it does not damage physical structures. It remains intact. So it will be less damaging to the city, etc. So this one is another type of the bomb. We are talking regarding the different type of the bombs. See over here another bomb that we call it as salted nuclear bomb. This one is a photograph. So many country right prepared this salted nuclear bomb, but this one is a photograph from China. So it is uh, shown in the figure. Salted bomb. Salted bomb again works on the same nuclear fusion reaction, right? But over here, you saw this bomb is surrounded by heavy metals, cobalt, gold. So other heavy metals are surrounded by this uranium material. As a result, this will make mass destruction. We call it as doomsday weapon. Means effect will be on a very large area. Doomsday means Kayamat ka din. Nobody lives. So it will have effect on a very large area. So this one is the very dangerous salted bomb for utilized for mass destruction. Another weapon that I am explaining you, that is electromagnetic pulse weapon. We know this one is very much important one in this mobile communication era, because this electromagnetic pulse weapon that can destruct electronic equipment, utilize satellite, mobile, computers, anything. So that link that will not be obtained. So all electronics gadgets that will fail, that will not work. So the goal of this weapon is to damage electronics over a wide area. So whenever mass destruction or any battles begins, initially military tries to detonate first electromagnetic pulse weapon to damage first electronic structure. So no signals, no communication can occur. And thereafter they can do whatever their desire is and they can succeed in their goal. So this one is very dangerous, not mass destructing, but it is damaging electronics instruments and thereby fulfilling our goal to achieve other goals. See, this one is schematic diagram of salted bomb that I have shown to you. I am not discussing this. This one is again the same design, different type, KH55, K31A. So these are the salted bomb, designs of the salted bomb. Another bomb, we are talking regarding the different type of the bombs, right, today. So we get acquainted, we have knowledge regarding different type of the bombs. Another is the antimatter bomb. See, this one is a antimatter bomb is a theoretical bomb. Nobody invented this, but theoretically is invented. We know when two particles, right, particle and antiparticle, right, they combine together, they fuse, and as a result, large amount of energy is released. So particle and antiparticle fuse together, and as a result, large amount of energy is released. But this one is very difficult to synthesize. So this one is the future bomb. But I have acquainted you with a different type of the weapons, nuclear weapons. But in all these weapons, you can see the basic principle is fusion and fission. So this one is the heart of any nuclear weapon. That is the basic principle. And on that reactions, we have a neutron bomb, right? And this EMP, all this salt nuclear bomb. So these are based, all these weapons based on this nuclear fission and fusion. So dear friends, I have explained you different type of the bombs. This information will be very much useful to you today. Let us talk directly on what happened on 6th August 1945 in Hiroshima. The population of Hiroshima on those days were around 3 lakhs and 50,000 peoples were residing. It was the manufacturing hub of the Japan, and large amount of the Japan's army were deployed in the Hiroshima. So that's why American decided to detonate, drop a bomb on Hiroshima. This one is just cross-section view of a little boy. See, see, this one is the detonator. You can call it as a switch. As you move this slide, this knob, it will revolve. And as a result, as you open the umbrella, one switch you push of umbrella, immediately road push ups and umbrella opens. Similarly, this detonator switch, as you push it, this rod, right, goes up. This is the uranium. This is called projectile. This one is called projectile uranium. Uranium 235, and this one is a target. You know, in uranium 235, neutron was bombarded. Over here, uranium 235 is projectile, projected. This uranium 235 is bombarded via this road, and this uranium plunge into this slugs or a material of uranium 235, and chain reaction starts, and as a result large amount of energy is liberated. So this one is simple basic principles have shown by this slide how this little boy by which they have blasted the bomb, how it works. So target and projectile. Projectile is targeted into another uranium slug and chain reaction started. So this one is the basic principle. You can see over here in this second figure. See, here we have explosive detonator. This one is the projectile uranium. We have rings. Rings of uranium were used, and it is projected toward the uranium core. This one is the gun barrel. You can see, and chain reaction were started in a little boy. So this one is simple schematic diagram to explain how the principle, right, was utilized as engineering side. Engineers how utilized this in explaining this bomb named little boy. So you can see the same thing I have shown to you. This one is the little boy. See, this one is the explosive charge plug, right? That sparks, detonated, and uranium bullet or projectile that fires. And see over here in this figure, that is achieved by the slug or a material, and as a result, chain reaction started, and it achieves supercritical, right, stage, and mass were kept. That is supercritical mass, right? And we have explosion. You know, two parts are important. That is projectile uranium and target. Simple thing. On the same thing, gun works, right? Gun works on the same thing. We have projectile. We call it as a bullet inside the gun, and we fire a bullet on a target. On the same principle, this little boy worked. See, projectile uranium I have shown you before, right? In a shape of a cone, 60% total mass of uranium, around 338.5 kilogram mass of uranium was utilized as a projectile, and it considered a stack of 9 uranium rings. So 38.5 kg uranium that were subdivided into rings, 9 rings. Each ring's diameter was 6.25 5 inch, and length was 6.25 and diameter was 4 inch, means 100 mm. So slug comprised of 40%, mass was 25.6 kg, that worked as a target or fissile material. So these are the data which is important for you. See over here, it is written when hollow front projectile reached the target. So when projectile reach the target, slide over the target, insert the assembled supercritical mass. So this 55 kg, there is supercritical mass were kept, right? Uranium would be completely surrounded by the tamper and neutron reflector tungsten. So this supercritical mass that was surrounded by the reflectors, right, which were reflecting the neutrons, tungsten carbide, steel materials, right, of 2300 kg. So this small mass is surrounded by large mass of tungsten, right, of 2300 kg. So as a result, I have shown you the inside story. I explain you what was inside the little boy, and this one is a detailed diagram which I have shown you. See, this one is the cross section of little boy. Over here, these are the rings, projectile uranium. This one is the target, and this one is the remaining thing. See, antennas, in polonium, barium initiators were also used in the little boy. So you can see all this, right? Antenna were also used. Electrical plugs were also utilized. So this one is the detailed diagram you can study. This one is the inside diagram of little boy. See, this one is the photograph of a little boy atom bomb that works on the principle of nuclear fission. So this one was the nuclear weapon, which were dropped, detonated on the Hiroshima. See, who dropped? Paul Warfield Tibbets, originally a pilot who flew in a plane bomber B-29 Super Fortress, plane named Enola Gay. This name was given, right, on the memory of Paul's mother. So Enola Gay is the name of her mother. Paul Warfield Tibbets Jr., born in this 23rd February, United States, died 1st November 2007, Colombo, Ohio, United States. So this one is the pilot who flew and detonated, dropped down bomb on Hiroshima. This one is the picture of Enola Gay, and over here you see this little boy that is loaded into a plane. This one is the bottom strut of the plane, and this is lifted, right, by the lower cranes into a plane, and then the shutters close down, and in this way that was loaded into Enola Gay. Whenever this little boy was detonated, dropped down on the Hiroshima, you see over here, Hiroshima's population were 3,50,000, located 500 miles away from the Tokyo. and that was fired from the base Tinian, Pacific Island. Pacific Island of Tinian, and uranium, 90,000 pound uranium was loaded into this bomb. So think, very, very large amount. Enola Gay and dropped down at 8:15 a.m. early in the morning. You can say approximately at 8 o'clock from 2,000 feet above the Hiroshima, and that exploded, equivalent to 12 to 15,000 tons of TNT, and that destroyed a large area of Hiroshima, approximately 5 square miles of the city. That was totally vanished. Nothing remained. So mass destruction occurred in this 5 square mile area by detonation or drop down of this bomb. See, as this bomb exploded, you can see over here the clouding effect of the bombing. See, a huge cloud as a result of blast that occurred in the sky of Hiroshima. You can see over here just like a tornado on the cloud of Hiroshima, containing electromagnetic radiations, large amount of temperature and fire. See, this one is the epicenter this one is the center where it was dropped down. This one is the surrounding area which was affected by the bombing. See, friends, or I have a request that speak in Hindi. So मैंने आप सबको लिटिल बॉय के बारे में सबको बताया, कैसे लिटिल बॉय को ड्रॉप डाउन किया था, कैसे एक्सप्लोड किया था। और आप देखिए, जैसे ही ये लिटिल बॉय है उसको हिरोशिमा के ऊपर बॉम्बार्डिंग उसको किया, यू सी द स्ट्रक्चर, द ओनली स्ट्रक्चर, ये एक ही बिल्डिंग ऐसा था जो सर्वाइव हुआ। ओवर हियर यू सी, यहां आप सब देख सकते हैं इधर सराउंडिंग एरिया, ये जो आसपास का एरिया है आप देख सकते हैं, पूरे एरिया में, आसपास के पूरे एरिया में कुछ भी दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, पूरा का पूरा समझ लो सब वेनिस हो गया, सब नाश हो गया, कुछ नहीं दिखाई दे रहा। ये है, ये स्ट्रक्चर है, ये एक ही बच पाया, बाकी का पूरा वेनिस, सब नाश। ये आप देख सकते हैं, ये पूरा का पूरा ब्लैक हो गया है, टोटली बर्न, कार्बन। तो आप ये देख सकते हैं मास डिस्ट्रक्शन है यहाँ हुआ है। और ये आप देख सकते हैं, आप जो हिंदी के लिए रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे तो उस लोगों को मैं बता रहा हूँ कि दिस वन इज द एरिया दैट इज अफेक्टेड, ये एरिया है वो इफेक्ट हुआ था, इतने एरिया है वो इफेक्ट हुआ था। आपको फिर मैं हिंदी वालों के लिए थोड़ा बता देता हूँ, ये जो है क्लाउड है, दैट इज, ये क्लाउड बना उस आसपास, हिरोशिमा के आसपास में, जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा टेम्परेचर, बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी उत्पन्न हुई और रेडिएशन है, इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन, रेडियो तरंगे है वो उत्पन्न हुई। उसकी वजह से भी बहुत डैमेज हुआ। तो ये सब है जब हिरोशिमा के ऊपर बॉम्ब फेंका गया, लिटिल बॉय, तो इतना मास डिस्ट्रक्शन है वो हुआ। ये आप देख सकते हैं अनदर फिगर, you can see so many persons burned, 1 2 3 over here, 4, so many persons you can see over here, even soldiers are there. So these are the mass destructions। आप देख सकते हैं बहुत लोग हैं वहां, यहाँ देख सकते हैं, देखिए ये भी है, कुछ आदमी की फोटो है, यहाँ भी देख सकते हैं अनदर फोटो है, यहाँ भी देख सकते हैं। तो ऐसे ऐसे बहुत लोग हैं, देवर बर्न, पूरे के पूरे जिंदा ही जिंदा जल गए। तो ये तो फोटोग्राफ है आफ्टर डिस्ट्रक्शन लिया गया है, लेकिन आप पूरे के पूरे लोग बर्न हो गए हैं, वो आप देख सकते हैं। बिल्डिंग कुछ भी नहीं बचा, यहाँ कुछ भी बचा नहीं है। ये आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ आफ्टर एक्सप्लोजन बॉम्ब फेंका गया, उसके बाद का सीन है, आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पूरा का पूरा एरिया, पूरा का पूरा सिटी, ये देख सकते हैं हम, पूरा का पूरा का पूरा सिटी साफ हो गया, कुछ नहीं बचा, पेड़ पौधे तक नहीं बचे हैं। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ ये दूर दूर तक माउंटेन है, कुछ कुछ बच गया है, ये देख सकते हैं आप, ये जो है ब्रिज है, पुल है, वो भी आधा टूट गया है, ठीक है। तो ये पूरा का पूरा डिस्ट्रक्शन, मास डिस्ट्रक्शन, पीपल, एवरीथिंग, कुछ भी बचा नहीं है। आप देख सकते हैं पहले जो सिटी था हिरोशिमा, ये रिवर के दोनों साइड था, आप देख सकते हैं, और दोनों साइड है, पूरा का पूरा साफ हो गया, पूरा का पूरा विनाश, सब विनाश। सो दिस वन इज दी मास डिस्ट्रक्शन, पूरा का पूरा। आप देख सकते हैं लिटिल बॉय जब थ्रो किया गया तो इतना सारा डेंजरस इफेक्ट हमें 6 अगस्त 1945 को देखने को मिला था। तो ये जो बम था, वो अगर हम साइंस के स्टूडेंट हैं, साइंस के टीचर हैं, ठीक है, तो न्यूक्लियर है फिशन रिएक्शन, उसके ऊपर ये वर्किंग कर रहा था। मैंने आपको सब इनसाइड स्टोरी भी आपको बताया। आप जानते हैं जब 6 अगस्त को जो बॉम्ब है उसको थ्रो किया तो इमीडिएटली देयर नो रिएक्शन, जापान ने कोई रिएक्शन नहीं दिया था, उन्होंने कुछ बताया नहीं कि भाई अभी यहां तो ये बॉम्ब डाला है, इतना मास डिस्ट्रक्शन हो गया है, दे वर डिनाइंग। तो वो तो रेजिस्ट कर रहे थे, वो तो डिनाई कर रहे थे कि भाई यहां कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है। तब जाके अमेरिका ने दूसरा बम उसके ऊपर डाल दिया। वैसे आप देख सकते हैं कि बहुत कैजुअलिटी है, सिविलियंस है, वो सब डाई हो गई, फ्लोरा फोना को भी इतना नुकसान हुआ। वैसे सेकंड बम की तो कोई जरूरत ही नहीं थी, एक ही तो काफी था। लेकिन देयर नो इमीडिएट रिएक्शन फ्रॉम द जापानीज ने उसको इमीडिएट रिएक्ट नहीं किया, उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया कि भाई हाँ यहाँ इतनी कैजुअलिटी है, वो डैमेज हुई है, दैट इज अनबेरेबल, वो उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया। तब जाके दूसरा बम फेंकने की जरूरत पड़ी। उसकी वजह से ही ऑन 9th अगस्त अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग एट 11 o'clock फैटमैन है अगेन जापान के दूसरे सिटी नागासाकी के ऊपर बम को ड्रॉप किया। आप देख सकते हैं ये फोटो फैटमैन बम की, अर्लियर है, उसको हम लिटिल बॉय कहते हैं, और ये आप देख सकते हैं बीच में से बड़ा है जैसे स्टमक, तो उसकी वजह से उसका नाम दिया है फैटमैन। ये आप देख सकते हैं जैसे उसका कवर है हम अनकवर करेंगे, ऊपर का जो है स्किन हम अनकवर करेंगे, आउटसाइड कवर हम अनकवर करेंगे, तो यू कैन सी फोटो ऑफ इनसाइड फैटमैन। आप ये देख सकते हैं इसमें क्या था कि जो मटेरियल था वो कोर में रखा गया था, प्रोजेक्टाइल वाज एट द कोर, और प्रोजेक्टाइल है वो रेडियली आउटवर्ड टारगेट के ऊपर लाया गया था, तब जाके ब्लास्ट हुआ था। तो आप देख सकते हैं यह है स्कीमेटिक डायग्राम। यहां देख सकते हैं आप ये रेड कलर में, यहां है कोर। तो ये है जो रेडियली आउटवर्ड, यहां मटेरियल था और रेडियली आउटवर्ड एक्सप्लोजन होने की वजह से यहां जो है ये रिफ्लेक्टर है। प्रिंसिपल रिमेन्स द सेम बट द डिजाइन वाज डिफरेंट, डिजाइनिंग ही उसकी डिफरेंट थी। और उसके आसपास भी आप देख सकते हैं एक एल्यूमिनियम कप्स होल्डिंग टू हेमिस्फीयर। इसमें भी देखिए आप एल की जगह है पोलोनियम बेरिलियम इनिशिएटर रखा हुआ था। बोरॉन के प्लास्टिक सेल, वो न्यूट्रॉन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए बोरॉन के सेल रखे जाते हैं, वो इसमें रखा था। और इसमें आप देख सकते हैं ये जी आप देख सकते हैं एरो में दिखाई दे रहा हूं, ये है यूरेनियम 238। सो अगेन द सेम मेन मटेरियल that were used, G and H you see over here, plutonium 239 was the material, again radioactive material that was used inside this bomb, works on the same principle, fission. So ये जो है इनसाइड का स्ट्रक्चर है फैटमैन का। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ फैटमैन है। सुबह 11:02 पे कितना वजन था उसका, 10,000 पाउंड्स और 22 किलोटन का ब्लास्ट किया था ऑन दी नागासाकी। ये जो है दूसरा शहर है जापान का, और उसमें अराउंड 60,000 पीपल्स सिविलियंस दैट वर डाइड अप्रोक्सीमेटली। बट नागासाकी के अराउंड में ज्यादातर माउंटेन्स थे, पर्वते थे। तो नागासाकी में हिरोशिमा में जितना बड़ा डिस्ट्रक्शन नहीं हुआ, तो उसका एरिया है वो 5 स्क्वायर माइल न होके थोड़ा छोटा था, 2.6 स्क्वायर माइल्स। और कैजुअलिटी है, डैमेज है, वो भी पहले की कंपैरिजन में इसमें कम थी, सिविलियन भी कम मरे थे। लेकिन वैसे हम इन द कंपैरिजन वी कॉल इट एज अ लेस, but that is still in a very large number. You see over here, this one is the photograph after the explosion by the bomb Fatman on Nagasaki. नागासाकी के ऊपर में जब ये बॉम्ब फेंका गया तो उसके बाद का जो फोटो है आपको दिखाई दे रहा है, ये धुएं, आप बादल, पूरा बादल बन गया, आप देख सकते हैं जैसे टॉर्नेडो आया हो ऐसा लगता है। इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन है, बहुत गर्मी उत्पन्न हुई होगी यहाँ, और बहुत कैजुअलिटी है, वो डैमेज हुई थी। ये देख सकते हैं नागासाकी के ऊपर के स्काई, आप देख सकते हैं ये पूरा का पूरा टॉर्नेडो, सी पूरा बादल बन गया है ये। दिस वन इज द इफेक्ट ऑन नागासाकी, ये इतनी बड़ी इफेक्ट हुई थी। अगर हम जमीन पर देखें ऑन द ग्राउंड तो आप देख सकते हैं ये ट्रीज, आप देखिए खड़े के खड़े हैं। हिरोशिमा में जितनी डैमेज हुई थी कुछ नहीं बचा था, ऐसा नहीं दिखाई दे रहा आपको, यहाँ कुछ कुछ है वो बचे हैं, लेकिन आप देख सकते हैं सिर्फ टंग्स आर रिमेनिंग, लीव्स nowhere, no leaves you can see. This one is the effect on the trees after the bombardment of the Fat Man on Nagasaki. This one is the photograph of soldiers observing damage in Nagasaki. You see, these are the Japanese people observing damage. See, this one is the another photograph. You can see over here a surrounding mountains, and these are the trees. You see over here, all vanished, but luckily medical college survived after bombing. You see the photograph over here. This is the photograph of medical college. So medical college luckily survived in a Nagasaki. That is that photograph that I have shown to you. That ये जो बॉम्ब एक्सप्लोड किया गया जापान के ऊपर, तो ऐसा नहीं था कि सब लोग हैं immediately died. So many in a far areas away from Nagasaki or Hiroshima, they also get affected by the radiation effect. रेडिएशन की जो इफेक्ट थी उसकी वजह से जो दूर रहते थे जो लोग, उसको भी बहुत इफेक्ट हुई. तो कैसी इफेक्ट हुई उसका आप देख सकते हैं. उसकी स्किन है वो बर्न हो गई है पूरी की पूरी. आप देख सकते हैं, ये आप देख सकते हैं हैंडीकैप हो गए लोग. आप उसके हैंड भी देख सकते हैं. तो दिस इज द आफ्टरमाथ इफेक्ट ऑफ रेडिएशन. सो radiation is also very much powerful even to damage human beings. This one is just a simple one photograph. You see one man's photograph who survived after both bombing. तो ये आदमी है वो बच गया. ये ताज का साक्षी हम बोल सकते हैं कि मैंने देखा है, मैंने झेला है. तो ये आदमी है वो बच गया है. आप स्पीच भी सुन सकेंगे यूट्यूब पे, उसकी डॉक्यूमेंट्री भी है. तो ये आदमी है सर्वाइव्ड. सो दिस वन इज a स्टोरी ऑफ August 6th. But why we remember this? This should not happen again and again, because this blast atom bomb that is dangerous to humankind, mankind even we can say. So we should not have to make these mistakes again and again. So this is the message. We should not have to have a nuclear weapons race. So message is that non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. हमें न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स है उसकी होड़ में नहीं पड़ना है, उसकी प्रतिस्पर्धा नहीं करना है. हमें दिन ब दिन न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स है उसको कम करना है. हम सब जानते हैं रशिया है उसके पास में अराउंड 7,000 स्टिल 7,000 न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब्स है उसके पास में. तो अभी एक लिटिल बॉय और फैटमैन आप देख सकते हैं कि कितना ज्यादा नुकसान कर सकते हैं. पूरा का पूरा नागासाकी और हिरोशिमा उसका नाश कर दिया. ऑलमोस्ट कुछ बचा नहीं. मैनकाइंड भी नहीं, जो बच गए वो भी समझ लो आधे मर गए. रेडिएशन इफेक्ट तो जुड़ जुड़ के जी रहे हो. उसकी वजह से हमें ये ऐसा नहीं करना है. उसकी याद में हम एंटी न्यूक्लियर डे मनाते हैं. अगस्त 6 को हम एंटी न्यूक्लियर डे हम मनाते हैं. आज हम देखते हैं कि वी टॉक अबाउट आवर कंट्री इंडिया और चाइना दोनों युद्ध की कतार पे खड़े हुए हैं. कब वॉर हो जाए. तो ये डे है, ये हमें मैसेज देता है कुछ भी हो, बातचीत करना है, टेबल पे आना है, और जो भी ग्रीवेंसेस है, जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसको बायलिटरली चर्चा करके सॉल्व करना है। ये न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स है, उसकी प्रतिस्पर्धा में हमें जाना नहीं है। ये डे हमें वही सीख देता है। अगर आज के दिन इंडिया और चाइना दोनों बैठ के ऑन 6 अगस्त डिसाइड कर ले कि भाई हमें युद्ध नहीं करना है, न्यूक्लियर वेपन नहीं यूज करना है, तो मुझे ऐसा लगेगा कि ये हिरोशिमा डे हम वर्ल्ड ने, इंडिया ने, चाइना ने ट्रू में सेलिब्रेट किया, ऐसा माना जाएगा। आई विश के कभी भी ऐसा एटॉमिक युद्ध ना हो, न्यूक्लियर युद्ध ना हो, और जो कैजुअलिटीज है, सिविलियन है, मैनकाइंड है, नेचर है, वो बना रहे, और हम हैप्पीली पूरी अर्थ पे जी सके और उसका आनंद ले सके। उस याद में हम ये एंटी न्यूक्लियर डे उसको सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। सो साइंस सिटी की ओर से मैं आप सबको ये मैसेज देना चाहता हूं कि बिलीव इन पीस। ये जो दिन है 6 अगस्त, आज का दिन पूरा का पूरा हमें मैसेज भेजना है सभी को, व्हाट्सएप पे, ऑन कंप्यूटर्स, सोशल मीडिया, ट्विटर्स। किसी भी हालत में हमें न्यूक्लियर वेपन को बढ़ावा नहीं देना है। तो सच्चे अर्थ में हम सब लोगों ने न्यूक्लियर डे 6 अगस्त को सेलिब्रेट किया, ऐसा हम मान सकते हैं। सो थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू, थैंक यू। मैं यहाँ मेरा वक्तव्य है उसको विराम देता हूँ। जय भारत।